limited. He works with me and works with me. We have a few others in there. I graduated from EMU as well, like most of you studying there or graduated, I guess, at this point. That was back in 2003. And then I did my master's in Turkey, Buluç University. I started AI back in those days, which is not the AI that you guys know today. It was more statistics and some more learning by hand rather than training stuff with maths, MATLAB kind of stuff rather than having LLMs and stuff like that. But I started my roots there, and then I moved to UK, London. I worked there for about 4 years. Came back here for a short while, then went to Ireland, Dublin, worked there for about 3.5 years, and came back here. That was end of 2013, and since then I'm working in Cyprus. I have my company, but I'm remotely working for companies in UK and Ireland mostly. Other European countries as well, through companies in Ireland in the recent years. My most recent positions would be Volvo Cars. I was a software architect there, and followed by lead developer in Premfina Finances in London, and just moved to Atcom in Greece. Yes. So, in a nutshell, that's what I have been doing. You could have any questions about? Huh? Yeah, I mean, in our company, okay, what we do in our company, that's a good point. Let's talk about that as well. Like I said, we have around 10-12 people in there. There are 2 lines of businesses that we do. We have a few of our own products. The bigger one that we have these days is that we have Hafiza. You might have heard, maybe, or maybe not. That's in the law sector, targeting the lawyers in Turkey. It has some AI capabilities in there, going through 11-12 million court cases, laws and law articles, trying to answer questions, find relevant case results for the lawyers to reference to and stuff, as well as providing some case management and similar capabilities, some text-to-speech, speech-to-text, or other stuff. Also integrating with the law system of Turkey, so that you can actually pull data from there that are assigned to you and stuff. It's quite decent. This is our product that I have been talking about. That's one of the big ones. We also have another one for doctors, some clinic management software. Has some tools for the doctors there to keep track of their patients, their visits, some of the finances, inventory, and stuff like that. We have plans to add some AI in there as well. So we'll see. It's on track. That's it. Also have some contracts that we are following. We have a few of them landing these days, so some exciting times. We'll see where that takes us.
No, I didn't know that. This is new information.
Yeah. It's not publicly announced in the company yet, I guess, but
well, I think, thanks for that. I mean, I'm pretty sure you work with more companies as well. Maybe, I don't know, for example, if you can give us maybe there was something that you got to discover only after you started working. That you're like, oh, that's why we're...
Yeah, I mean, yes.
There's some example of that.
Our audience right now is mostly students or fresh grads. So what I can see is that something that I discovered after is, at least on my time, when we were in the university, it's more like things should work. When you graduate and start working somewhere, there are other dimensions to that. It has to be maintainable. It has to be testable and well tested. It has to be able to scale. There are different dimensions to it. So I wrote it works. That's not enough. And also processes. It's more like cowboy, or maybe maybe a few people come together and you pass over some files. Maybe you're lucky enough to start working with GitHub and stuff like that, which is really you should do, definitely. Even on a project that you work by yourself, you should have it in GitHub. You should at least be able to track your own history. Even just for that, it's worth it. But when you start collaborating, I can't even think how we were doing it before that.
Yeah.
So it's a must. And the methodologies like Agile. These days, I believe they are talking about those in school as well a little bit, very limited. But there are some fundamental things that you have to go through in professional development, software development cycle. Otherwise, if you're not agile, it could be waterfall and everything changes and you can't adapt. And also like industry right now, it's an industry stuff. I mean, I have been working with many companies, even from starting my career at 2006 in UK.
It was always agile.
Yeah, the first position I had there, they were trying to start on agile. But we're talking about 2006. And every position afterwards, they had some sort of agile. And when did I start on Wonga? Let me see, 2012 I started Wonga, and it was a perfect working agile Scrum there.
Do you all know what agile?
Not really.
Not really.
I
I think they are all in second year.
Okay.
So maybe just Susan will know what agile is. So we talked about that before. So agile is they call it a software development management process. That's a way to you plan your work. Like there are tasks to do, like for a project, for example, for the project that we just showed, right? We don't just do everything in one day, right? Yeah. I mean, like how you have the school project and then you just wait until the day before and then you just get it done, right? You just do the assignment. We don't do that in the real world, right? In the real world, there's a plan.
When you have a big project, then I mean, like it's not something that you or any team can take in a day, or like, let alone in a month or something. There's no way.
Yeah.
So you're talking about big project, months of preparations, and then basically you don't even like. There's one thing. Okay, we are talking about some processes, right? Back then, very early, it started with waterfall. We call it waterfall these days. So everything goes in one direction. Like you do a big planning. You have the specs, how it should work, well written, documented, and then you start the development piece by piece. You do it, and at the end, you do the last piece, and it's all together, and it works. That's waterfall.
Yeah.
And it used to be like that, and that's basically ancient even for me.
Yeah.
It's very old way of doing things. And
that's
why?
Waiting for months before it's done.
Waiting for months before you can even start, because every spec needs to be written and well documented so that everyone agrees and all the business agrees that this is exactly what we want and stuff. And you know what? Tomorrow it changes. Yeah. Because it's such a dynamic environment. There is a new requirement now because customers want a new thing. Or there is a new competitor with new features in it. Or there is a new opportunity somewhere. Things change all the time. Business, not just software, business is agile. Everything changes all the time. So you have to stop thinking that way and start thinking in a way that you can adapt to some stuff. So what you do in agile is that you adapt to changes somehow. Now, we are following Scrum. Scrum is under agile, you can say. You can do Scrum, you can do Kanban, you can do maybe some others. These are the most commonly known two ones. Kanban is a little bit more, agile is more rigid with more structures in it. Kanban is a little bit more relaxed. It's more like, okay, things can change, you pull stuff, do them, push them over, a little bit more soft in terms of structure, but we are trying to follow Scrum, which is a little bit more rigid, but it also, like if done right, it brings a lot to the table. What happens is that you have your development divided into sprints. So you say, okay, let's do 2 weeks. Let's think about 2 weeks at a time. Okay? So let's think about what we are going to be doing in 2 weeks. Okay? For the next 2 weeks, what is our priority? Okay, these things are the things that we want to do. Okay, let's start planning on those. You define only those, and then you start your sprint. You, of course, like over time, you know how much you can do in a sprint. And here, sprint equals 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
For us, but some companies takes 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but most common is 2 weeks, and I have seen 3 weeks here and there. So for 2 weeks, you say, okay, as a team, these are the stuff that we are planning to do, and according to our speed, velocity, capacity for a sprint, this is the amount of stuff that we think that we can do. So you start with that. Every day you have a short meeting to catch up. Is anyone blocked for any reason? Can anyone help and unblock, and the process can continue? Otherwise, at the end, we have a demo. We see what we have achieved in these 2 weeks. We have a retro meeting, looking at our, what we have done, how we have done it. Is there any opportunities to improve our own workflow or stuff that we do? We can do some things differently. Look at back what happened and maybe recognize what we have done and feel good about them, and look at what didn't work, find out why they didn't work, and what could be done to make them work next time. And then, of course, go back to next sprint plan.
Again like that.
So it's just sprint, another sprint, another sprint. Is how you divide it.
So I was just looking at Kanban board.
Yeah.
You have what you want to do, and then you have what you're doing right now. You have what you're currently maybe testing or demoing or showing the customer or whatever, and then once it's complete, you can move it.
Yeah, this is a board for tickets or for tasks, you can say. For each thing that you need to do, it starts from the leftmost, it's on your backlog. You put it to doing when someone can work on it, and then when it's done, okay, it needs to be reviewed. If it's good enough, business usually gets involved there. Yes, this is what we wanted. Or it might be, it wasn't actually what we wanted. Go back and please change this way.
Did you use something like this on Adliye Hafıza as well?
Yeah. This is Kanban, but the board is very similar. We have used a Scrum board.
How long did it take?
How long is it taking?
Quite a while.
12 people, right? You said like 12 people.
Well, not all of them are working on the same thing. Yeah, I started somewhere but didn't actually finish on my lineup. Like there are two kind of things that we do. Like I said, one is our products. The other one I actually never came back to is remote contracts that we do. So some people in our company join another company's team and work with them and help their team achieve their own goals and stuff. So that's basically something like an outsourcing that we provide. So we have those as well. I myself do that as well. Like my work with Volvo, Premfina, and these days for Atcom is the same thing. I join their team and work with them. Michael works the same way for a company in Ireland.
So you can work with multiple companies at the same time?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not me personally working multiple of them at the same time, which I have done once. I had 2 companies I was working at the same time. Like I had 80% allocation on one company and 20% allocation on another. I have done that too.
You must be able to manage your time.
Does it get frustrating? I was gonna ask.
Tiring, yes. Not more than frustrating, but it does get tiring at times because I'm doing like full-time work with another company and then managing my own company, attending some meetings here and there while not lacking behind on other stuff.
And you also have your own life as well to live.
Yeah, so 2 kids at home.
Is it hard to work for UK when you're living in Cyprus?
Not really. These days it's much easier. I mean, even back then in 2013, it was working really well. The only thing was convincing them was a little bit harder that it would work. But after COVID, it's a lot easier because many people in their companies, they don't go to office anyways.
Do you think, like, even if you are a very good developer, you can work for another company outside your country
Yeah.
without no experience? Do you think they will trust you with no
Well, I
experience?
mean, with no experience, it's not that easy.
They wouldn't
but
trust, right?
Well, I mean, depends. If you're planning to try that, it might be possible. Like some people do have that, but to do that, you need to show them something. So, first of all, you're going to go through some
That's the hard way to
recruitment.
understand, to learn. That's hard way. You should learn someone face to face, first of all, I think.
I mean, we prefer recruiting someone face to face first. I mean, even though we work remotely. But we have like, at this point, 3 people are working remotely for us. But they were working for us from our offices. They got back to their countries and they are working from there at this point. But they started here in the same office. They got support from us personally. You know, it's smoother that way.
So are you saying for someone now, if you're going to graduate or looking for a new job or whatever, are you saying you should try to get in person first before going to remote?
Well, I mean, both are possible. I can't say, it probably depends on the person and the opportunities that you have. And if you are aiming for a position remote, like that, that's a challenging thing to at least like even achieve to get that job. So you need to prepare, you need to show that you are worth it. Right?
Yeah.
And how do you show that? There are 2 ways to do that. One, your public GitHub account or any sort of portfolio to show them that these are my previous work. This is how I code. These are the things that I have done before. That's one thing. And second, ace in an interview. So you need to be able to, demonstrate your skills when asked on the interview.
I didn't know GitHub was like this important.
Well, I mean,
very
GitHub or
important.
something else, but GitHub is like universally right now accepted as the standard portfolio of it all.
In high school, I was using GitHub to like, when I was playing some like video games, I will just like to get some free cheat scripts, cheat codes, and I will use that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it
So
was
it's
like
very
this.
important for work.
İş hayatında da aynı. It's
Orada
the
mı?
same metaphor.
The same one, yeah. So maybe after this, all of you should go and open a GitHub. Maybe I'll collect your emails or something. So everybody is going to get a GitHub account.
You should definitely, if you don't have one yet, you should just create one right now.
Yeah.
This is one of the things that we ask for, the first thing that we ask for in a candidate.
Yeah.
The GitHub
The
account.
GitHub account.
Give us your
yeah.
CV, your public GitHub account for consideration, and if you graduated recently, your transcript. That's how you apply to it.
Yeah.
And transcript is probably the least important.
Yeah. Because
So it's okay if I get like C's along the way.
it doesn't matter.
I mean, if I see that you had to like, let's say, one of the programming
Yeah.
courses, you take it 3 times with F, D minus, plus. Then you need to shine in the other side so much that I don't think.
Something happened.
because
yeah.
because there are so many applications.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to give everyone a chance, and in the past I was trying to, because maybe something happens on his education time, maybe some problems in the family or whatever, right? Maybe something. So let me see. But then, even for the internships, we receive over 40 applications. Too much time to go through the interviews. So we have to eliminate some of them. So we have to have some criteria. So I kind of look at the GitHub, I give a mark there. But what you have done in your university, give some mark there. On your CV as well. Again, your internship is also important. What you have done there is also important. Did you go to a computer shop and assemble some PCs, or did you do some development? I mean, I'm not trying to downplay any other things, but those are not for us.
That's not what we're looking for. Right?
Yeah, maybe another position which you will need to do those. It's valuable for them, but us, we write software. So I need someone who got his hands dirty with writing software.
And I think that means that when you're going to do your internship, try to look for a company, try to look for a company that is, if you want to do software, right? If you want to do software in the future, try to look for a company that actually is doing software, not hardware or managing. So you kind of like have a plan of what you want to achieve.
And it is important. Like don't think that, well, if I go to this show, it's easy. I'll be more laid back, or it's time suits me better. You know, maybe I will have a holiday at the end of it or something.
Yeah.
I mean, put your priorities right. If that's your priority, fine. But you're gonna have a harder time, you know, than others who actually has gone to another company where they can improve themselves, both improve and also shine in their CVs.
Tuche, any question?
No.
Okay, Susanna.
We're thinking like, what should we do now?
Okay, what should they do now?
What
right
should
now?
you do right now?
After the
Yeah, good question. I would say, of course, you have your courses and everything. Do follow them up because there are things that you learn, even things that don't seem to be that much relevant to what you'll be doing. You will learn things and ideas that you can apply on different things. The example I usually give is like logic design, right? Logic design is circuits.
I'm taking it this semester.
Yeah, AND gates, OR gates, and this and that. But that helps analyze on different branching or some algorithmic logic that you are looking at. Okay, what happens when this parameter is this, and that parameter is that, and that parameter is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I use that way of thinking when analyzing a code like that I learned from logic design. What I'm trying to say is anything you learn, even in a different discipline, could be somehow applied in a different place, and that might actually bring you something that many others will not have. So don't forget about that. Don't, let's say, don't say that, this course is rubbish, I don't know. Well, try to get whatever you can out of it. I mean, you paid for this university.
Yeah, that's right.
You are
You forget
there,
that a lot.
right? I mean, you're sitting there. If you have a better use of your time, okay. But otherwise, try to excel at it. That's one. Two, I mean, do that, but quite important, you need to write code. I mean, I'm talking in terms of if you're gonna be a software developer.
If that's what you want to do.
If that's the career path you have, then you need to write code and write more code and write even more code. Now, there are two different areas I would say you should do that. One, try to get a project, like a web page maybe, try to deploy it. Try to first, of course, find a problem that you want to solve, right? It doesn't have to be a groundbreaking problem. Very simple, it might just be to be able to calculate your CGPA. Maybe you will just put the marks that you have taken, and it will just calculate the CGPA for you. If I take A from this, but B from that, and then it will just change on the fly the CGPA there. I'm just making a very simple thing, which is nothing, but having this, have it so that whichever language you use, you deploy it somewhere, and people can just go in there and can use it, right? Excellent. And now you have seen a full product life cycle, even though it's tiny. You're getting your hands dirty with doing these things, and then try to improve them. Maybe at some point use Docker or try to deploy it on some website which helps you.
There are free websites.
Free websites that you can deploy it. You learn some DevOps aspect as well there, and also learn front end, back end, how they talk to each other. Like you touch a lot of things. Add some database in there, you know. Have a few things work together. That's a good experience. And the second part, I really highly recommend work on algorithmic problems, especially if you are going to do some backend, like lead code or websites like that, which have some logical problem solving. Like it will tell you, like, assume you have a file, and in this file you have this sort of a data. Process this, calculate that, and give me this number, whatever, right? Or do statistical analysis and give me that thing. Now you need to read the file, do this, come to that. And back then we didn't have a lot of those.
Yeah, this one I used to use when I was in uni.
Yeah, and it's so easy to do in this. Many of them even actually give you the IDE. You know, in the website you have the IDE. You can write. Many of them even gives you the unit tests.
Yeah,
It just runs and tells you if it's correct or not. So it's so easy to get into being able to do that. Look at them like not work that I need to do that. It's more like I always see them like puzzles, you know.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. Go and beat it. You know? I can do this, and then these will improve a lot for you. First of all, you'll be able to look at a code and understand how it works, because you are definitely going to make mistakes and you will have to go back to that code, debug it, try to find what's going on, why is it not working. Right? And while doing that, you will understand, oh, I thought this would do that, but it doesn't actually work this way. So it will be almost like you have your own compiler in your head, and you can actually look at the code and see what it does. It improves that. And gives you a better way of divide and conquer how you approach to problems in increasing complexities. It adds a lot, I would say.
An example of neat code.
Yeah.
Summing two numbers.
You see, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see because of this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, board.
Yeah, that's right. But here, you see, you can write the code in the same page. You have a problem, write the code. It has test cases and test cases. Everything in there. You don't even need to. I wrote something. Does it work? It's not even just you need to test it with your own handcrafted data or something. Just click on a button and it will tell you for which cases it doesn't work. It's so easy.
Yeah.
Back then we had to test our own code, and there were many cases where friends of ours just the code didn't work exactly. It should, but they didn't even know.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have those test cases covered. Now.
Things are becoming more easier. So
yes.
This is why, I think interviews are becoming harder, because they assume that since you have all of this, then you should have spent your time doing more of this.
One more thing. Don't use AI as much as possible. I mean, it's your last resort. Solve it yourself. AI can do this, yeah, but then why do I need you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You should be able to do that.
Prove that you are.
And it's also like AI is always your assistant. You are not his assistant, right? You have to be in control. For you to be in control, you need to know exactly how things work, how it should work. You should be able to do it yourself. AI is there to speed you up, but AI screws up a lot. You need to be able to understand, and that's not what I meant. Come on, you just write and let it fix. You tell it what's wrong or something, or just go and use come on, cloud. You should have it like this. You need to be able to say that, but to be able to say that, you need to be able to do this. So work hard, try to do them. You have issues, you couldn't do it, fine. You can even pass your code, say that I tried to do this, I wrote this code, but it doesn't work. It will tell you why it doesn't work, it will tell you how to fix it. I will say, that's what I missed. Go to the next problem, this time try to not do the same mistake. These are things, like invaluable things. We didn't have these. Use them.
Yeah, so we're actually out of time. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So thank you for
having me here.
Share with us. So please next week.
Listen to this guy.
Next week, let's get our GitHub accounts ready. We have a project we want to be doing as a group. Maybe we'll just try.
This is also a great opportunity
to do that together.
I mean, utilize this as well. You have a very experienced developer here, trying to help whoever is here, and I thank you myself in name of anyone who attended or will attend here. You are doing an excellent work and good service, so thank you. And utilize these opportunities, because anything that you learn, any small thing that you learn, is gonna build up to your foundation and move from there. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then.
Ah, thank you. And I need to leave you.
Yeah. You need to go. Yeah.
You should take
Yeah.
care of it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
He's waiting for me at home.